What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's Madden 20 rebuild, we're going to be taking a look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. We had to start year one kind of halfway through because the big Jalen Ramsey trade, which gave us a second first-round pick. So we're sitting here 2-4. Everything else, though, is going to be back to my own Madden-based reality. We do not have Jalen Ramsey anymore, which is a huge loss, personally. There's no chance in hell I would have even traded him. I would have let him go if I was doing the Jags rebuild a little bit earlier, but it is what it is. We now have 2 first-round picks. When I import my draft classes next week, I mean, we have a lot of talent to choose from. We'll look at the quarterback spot. It's been polarizing. I obviously love Nick Foles. He's a legend. Can I win with Nick Foles? I don't know. Could it be more interesting going with Gardner Minshew as our quarterback? It very well could be. So I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe, we look at flipping Nick Foles. Because, I mean, he's, like, I wanted to save this Jags rebuild for the time I get to build around Nick Foles, but he's just, I don't know. I feel like we could probably strike a trade with, let's just see right now while we're talking it out, what teams would be even interested in Nick Foles. I personally feel like you're going to see the Denver Broncos have a green. They do, because I think that's a trade that's going to happen in real life. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I do think Nick Foles gives the Jags a slightly better chance at winning over a Gardner Minshew, but Minshew has the upside. He's significantly cheaper, and if you can, get more assets, why not, right? Why not try to make that move? So I'm gonna figure out we can flip Nick Foles to the Denver Broncos for something, and I do feel like we give Gardner Minshew an honest opportunity. And this feels dirty because, like I said, man, coming into this year, knowing Nick Foles got traded, the Jags was like, finally, I get to play with Nick Foles, and that Jags rebuild's gonna be fine. But it's just not gonna work out, man. And I've heard some, he only has a normal dev. I've also heard he is one of the worst throwing animations for a starter. I think it actually has statistically the worst throwing animation for any starter in the NFL. I've heard that from a trusted source. Trust me. So I do feel like, even though we use Minshew in pink slips, he could be the polarizing guy that helps this Jags team win. So we'll see what we can do for Nick Foles. There's no value. Maybe we'll hold on to him. When you look at the running backs, you get Leonard Fournette, beast, 24, 82, normal dev. Now I'm surprised he only has a normal. I thought for sure we'd have at least a star dev because when he is healthy, I mean, he has what? He's probably top 5 in rushing yards right now this season. Touchdowns are a little bit off. But Fournette's a beast when healthy. Wide receiver, Marquise Lee, he's going to be gone. D.D. Westbrook, DJ Chark, those are going to be our 2 wide receivers that we're going to hope and grow. But Westbrook is kind of old, man. He was 23, 24 as a rookie. So he is 25, and a 5-year rebuild, he will be 30 when all is said and done. But I'm still optimistic we can develop him. Definitely DJ Chark. And outside of that, we'll probably have to draft that 3rd wide receiver, even though they have a solid wide receiver core. No stars, but a lot of depth. Tight end, there's still no real legit tight end on the roster. Josh Oliver out of San Jose State. We'll actually probably make him our starter for the remainder of the year just to see if he can kind of catch on a little bit. Pretty much a glorified wide receiver. Offensive line is, it is what it is. Cam Robinson, I don't know if we have a chance in hell at developing him or not. So we probably need a left tackle. Norwell's solid, but he's also 27, so that's not a great age. Linder's great, but he's 27, not a great age. Right guard, Can's a weak link. Jawan Taylor out of Florida, 2nd-round pick. I mean, if we can develop Taylor, just even one of Jawan Taylor, or we look at Cam Robinson, that would be helpful. Big time helpful. With the defense, you got Calais Campbell, Josh Allen, Yannick Ngakoue, who's in a contract year. When you look at the inside tape, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take Calais Campbell, and we're going to move him to D-tackle. I know it's going to reshuffle up his pretty overpowered X-Factor ability, but we have to get Josh Allen on the field. He is a monster. Hidden dev trait, even though for whatever reason his snaps aren't counted. But him and Yannick Ngakoue. Ngakoue's in a contract here. We're definitely going to re-sign him. That is, your edges are set. We need Taven Bryant to sure as hell develop, which would be nice. He has a star dev, so it's work in progress, but we'll go with him and Campbell as our starters at D-tackle. Linebacking core. Ryan's just kind of a placeholder at this point. He's all right, not a liability. Miles Jack's a stud, always around that Defensive Player of the Year award. Right outside linebacker, Telvin Smith. In our world, he is not retired, even though I do think he will be back. I think he probably just took a year off. I would be surprised if he doesn't return to the Jags next year. So we still have him, but he is 28. It's not a great age. Secondary, no more Jalen Ramsey, AJ Boye. He's a really good corner. Obviously, has excelled in Jacksonville since he came over as a free agent from the Texans. But he's 28. So we absolutely have to go all in here in the secondary to fix it up. There's no free safety. Our strong safety, Ronnie Harrison, 73 star. With how safeties do develop, I'm optimistic that that spot's good. We're gonna have a strong safety there for the rebuild. Special teams is fine. So yeah, we'll try to make a trade here. We're right at the trade deadline. I would argue Marcel Darius, maybe a wide receiver, Nick Foles could be had. So we'll see what kind of move we can make to maximize that value, and we'll rock and roll with Minshew for at least for year 1, year 2 of this rebuild. So here's the trade. We're sending Nick Foles, Marquise Lee, and Marcel Darius, who are all greens, all attractive to the Denver Broncos, for Courtland Sutton and a future 1st and 4th rounder. I feel like, it's an okay. We didn't fleece him. I was looking at maybe getting 2 first-round picks. I felt like this was the best middle ground. They have their Nick Foles. Honestly, I'm saying this as a Nick Foles fan. He's a John Elway quarterback. I think John Elway would be smart to go and try to acquire Nick Foles because of his huge contract. You probably could get him for 3rd-round pick, somewhere in that territory. Marquise Lee, slot wide receiver, still has some value. He's only 27. Marcel Darius to a defensive front there in Denver that's not that strong. It's not the worst trade I've ever seen. It's not a realistic rebuild. We got good value. It works out for both parties. Sutton with Westbrook and DJ Chark, our wide receiver core is locked up, and now it's that Minshew era. So at the end of year 1, we already were put at a disadvantage because Ngakoue didn't want to have anything to do with contract negotiations. So we're going to have to franchise tag him. The rest of the team, we weren't last in the AFC South, 4-12. It's not bad. Minshew actually played fairly okay. 3,600 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 picks. Considering Nick Foles would have played, I think, 2 of those games. Could have been a little bit better. That's not bad for a 6th-round draft pick. At least there's enough options. But he started as a 68. He finished with a 72. He's almost 73. At least we don't have to think about quarterback next year. We'll go with Minshew as a 2-year starter. Running the ball, Fournette was pretty good. 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. He also went from normal to a star dev. When you look at the wide receivers here, Courtland Sutton came in, real good year, 79 catches, 1,000 yards, 5 TDs. Went from star to a superstar. He's the only guy, though, from the wide receiver core that went up. I was firmly expecting DJ Chark to go from normal to star. That did not happen. Or D.D. Westbrook to go from star to superstar. That also did not happen. On the defensive side, Miles Jack was a manimal. He actually was the only other big guy that went from star to superstar on this defense. He's usually an X factor from what I've seen from an outsider looking in for the Jags roster. So hopefully that happens for us here today. As he got 121 tackles on the sacks front, 8.5 from Josh Allen, whose dev trait is superstar. Okay, that's good. Calais Campbell had 8.7 for Ngakoue, 13 TFLs. Pretty good year there. Picks were, for a down year in the secondary, not bad. Definitely would have liked to see AJ Boye get an interception or 2, but we'll have to look at improving the team through free agency. MVP, Russell Wilson. In the AFC, offensive player of the year went to Lamar Jackson. Defensive player of the year went to Myles Garrett. Offensive rookie of the year, Gardner Minshew. Oh, give him a dev trait. It's not always a given, but give him the look at the Raiders there. Oof. But Gardner Minshew is your offensive rookie of the year. Josh Oliver coming in at 5. Defensive rookie of the year went to Josh Allen. So our rookie's balling out of control here. Would definitely love Minshew to go at least from normal to star. I don't know if that gives you a dev trait or not. It happens. I feel like it's happened before, but that could just be me thinking wishfully. I don't think we had any individual award winners for the other positions, but we had offensive and defensive rookie of the year. I will take that, and fingers crossed we can get Minshew from a normal up to a star. Well, he got 2 skill points, but no dev trait increase for Gardner Minshew. That's brutal, man. I'm almost at the point I don't think offensive and defensive rookie of the year give dev trait increases. That's so annoying. Josh Allen got defensive, and he only got +1. We got robbed. You need to get more rewards for your rookies here. Because the power's out of our control, Ngakoue, the contract negotiations were already done because we started at week 7. So we're going to franchise tag him for 1 year, $16 million, and then hopefully hammer out a long-term extension next season. For free agency, after tagging Ngakoue, I think we had like almost $40 million in dead cap because of the Nick Foles trade. I thought we were going to have so much money. We had just over 40, so that's like a little less than half what I expected. So we're looking at Darby here as a corner. He's 26, star dev. You know, corners don't really regress. And I got Vernon Hargraves, 25. He's 78. I actually think I'm going to move him to free safety. We don't have a free safety on the roster. He kind of has struggled making that transition from a really good college corner for Florida to corner as he got released by the Bucks. I don't know where he is right now. I think he might be in Houston, but I'm actually going to slide him to free safety, see if we can develop him there. We're going to look at our draft class here. Shaped up to be very good, and I promise at the end, I had no idea what happened. I wasn't trying to cheat or anything, but we had 2 first-round picks at pick 4. Even though we brought in Darby, you really do need 3 corners in today's NFL. So Jeff Okudah, the best corner in college football, 75 hidden dev trait out of Ohio State, 92 speed, 92 acceleration. He's going to come in, try to be our next Jalen Ramsey. Plus, Boye's not getting any younger. It's good to have that guy that's going to be our, our premier corner for the entirety of the rebuild. With our second first-round pick, Josh Oliver's just not cutting it. It's pretty obvious tight end is a big need here for the Jags. In real life, they need wideout, but we traded for Cortland Sutton, so we're pretty good there. Let's try to improve the tight end position. Bryson Hopkins, he's right in that mix for a top tight end in the draft class. I don't necessarily know if this draft really has a first-round true talent type guy in real life, but at least in Madden, this guy, he looked really, really good. We had him scouted, 73 hidden dev, 83 speed, 83 acceleration, 78 catching. Pretty good route runner, not a liability as a blocker. He's really the jack of all trades here at tight end, and hopefully he's going to be our franchise guy. We got Ben Bredesen in the second-round guard with another hidden dev trait. We've seen him before in rebuilds. Very, very solid. Maybe a somewhat high, limited ceiling, not the highest out of some of the interior prospects. But considering we need a brand new starter at right guard, you could do a lot worse than a 71 hidden dev. Third round, Laviska Shenault just slipping. He was still there. We don't need a wide receiver. This is pretty much a best player available. 70 hidden dev. Real interesting playmaker here. I'm not gonna lie, don't completely rule out doing what the Patriots did with Cordero Patterson. Maybe we moving a running back to be a little bit different. I don't know. Fourth round, we got Khaleke Hudson just to be a depth safety. Another depth safety here, Brad Stewart from the Gators, 62. We got Braden Mann, a 70 overall punter, just to try to complete the special teams unit. And here was just 2 shots in the dark. I got Sadiq Charles, who's a hidden dev tackle from LSU. Like, again, I had no idea we kind of lucked out. He was a UDFA, just had the highest bench press, even though it is my own draft class. No idea he had this dev trait. I don't know what's going to happen. And then we got Oluwaye Batiku Jr., I think he was a former Ohio State player, went to Illinois. He also was a 63 hidden dev trait. So that's awesome. I mean, are they really going to develop? Are they going to grow? Probably not. But I know, I'm not going to lie. I knew the dev traits of Okudah and I know Shenault both had good ones. And, hey, it's a good draft class. It's a really, really good draft class. Got a lot of pieces here. So let's get into year 2 for the Jags during the Gardner Minshew era. Year 2 for the Jacksonville Jaguars, looking to make a big leap. We have an 82 overall team. That 84 defense is pretty eye-catching. When you look at changes or anything to the offense and defense to preview the roster, not a lot has changed. I mean, we have different faces here on the offense. Bredesen will start. Other than that, man, we're still hoping and praying that Taylor and Robinson can develop at tackle. Hopkins, the first-round pick, will be our starting tight end. We hope to get Laviska Shenault featured a little bit more here in the offense. He actually, honestly, might be better suited to be, for at least now. Like, what happens if he's a 71, if we make him a running back? He really is a polarizing player like that. I wouldn't be shocked. He goes to a 73. He'll probably get a little bit more looks there as our running back, too. So we'll do something like that. We'll make him a running back. He really is a utility player. Probably more suited to be a wide receiver. But when you watch him play, you look at the tape from Colorado, man, he looks like a running back at wide receiver. So we got Sutton, Dede, and Chark. We definitely want to see Chark grow in dev trait. Defensively, no real changes. Defense stays the same. Definitely want to hammer out a long-term deal for Ngakoue. Boye and Darby will be our outside corners. We'll put Okudah in the slot. Hargraves looking pretty good, man. 79 free safety. We actually might be able to grow and develop him there. I don't know. Did Harrison go up in dev trait? I feel like he did. Or was he always a star? Maybe he was. Whatever. Okay, cool. Real cool there. Our defense looks really good. It's the cream of the crop for our team. So let's hope we can get into the playoffs here in year 2. Come on, Gardner Minshew. From the bye week, we're 4-5. We got a breakout scenario. I think that's Cortland Sutton. He's looking to get superstar X Factor. I don't know if I should hop in and play this. I think I'm gonna hop in and play this one just because we need some more playmakers to help out our QB, who just for whatever reason cannot get a dev trade. We still are in the hunt here too for the AFC South. Three-way tie for the bottom with a 4 and 5. Texans at top 6 and 3. Minshew's been playing, look at that, 19th in passing touchdowns. He's playing well. It's working out fairly well. Contracts, let's see what we got. We got Calais Campbell. I mean, he does not regress. That's an expensive one-year deal. Well, we definitely want him back. Ngakoue, 3-year deal. We probably could have upped that a little bit, but we got him extended. Fournette, you see the dev trait? We got him up to a superstar. I think that's kind of rightfully where he should be. I think he's a real good fringe premier back in the NFL. D.D. Westbrook wants a 3-year deal. That's actually a fairly reasonable 3-year deal. Outside of that, like Cam Robinson, we're trying to grow and develop him, but he's just not worth that contract for being a 74 overall. I mean, Ryan on the outside's not bad set, but he's 28. He's only got to start to regress. He hasn't even broke that 80 threshold yet. So we'll keep those as our in-house signings. Take the rest of our money. Hopefully that Nick Foles contract gets. I might have to clear salary cap. I'm still going to be killing us this year or next year. But for the time being, that's some pretty good in-house signings. Now let's go get Sutton, that X-Factor dev trade. Me. You know me. Big Week 11 victory. Hopping in, helping our boy Courtland Sutton go from star. Oh, he just went from star to superstar. Okay. He looks good. Confused, because I knew it was for an X-Factor. He has wrecking ball. Good luck. He's going to stiff arm the bejesus out of people. He's one of the most physical wide receivers in the league. Don't know why that was glitched, but here you go, Sutton, new superstar X-Factor. Thank you, Denver. I hope you're enjoying Nick Foles. And at the end of year 2, we find ourselves in the playoffs, 11 and 5. That's an AFC South title. 87s across the board. Real good team here. A really, really good team. Look at Minshew, 5th in passing yards, 3rd in touchdowns. Trying to think back to that video we did. That should be enough to get him a dev trait. 4,200 yards, 38 touchdowns, 12 passing interceptions. That's a good year, 69% completion. I think we made the right decision with our QB. Fournette, over 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. On the receiving, 90 catches, almost 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns. Courtland Sutton, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. DD, 635 and 4 from the rookie Hopkins. Chark with 607. Damn. Miles Jack led the team, 119 tackles, 5 TFLs, a sack, 3 picks, 10 sacks. Calais Campbell, 9.5 Ngakoue, 7 from Smith, 6.5 from Josh Allen. Picks look pretty good. Hargraves thriving at the free safety spot, just like we put faith in him to do. We had the 6th offense and the 9th defense. I'll take that. Yearly awards. MVP went to Patrick Mahomes. Minshew coming in at number 7. AFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Josh Allen. Minshew at 6. Ooh, there's Nick Foles succeeding in Denver. Defensive Player of the Year went to Isaiah Simmons. Okay, rookie winning it. Not shocking, but kind of there. Miles Jack was on the list. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Jerry Jeudy. Bryson Hopkins coming in at 3. Chanel at 5. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Isaiah Simmons. Okudah at 4. Okay. QB Mahomes. Minshew was the runner-up. I don't think we have any individual award winners, but we made the playoffs. We might have a dev trade or two coming our way. So right off the bat, we have the 9 and 7 Patriots. A revenge from the last time. I think this is what, AFC South championship game? When Doug Marrone played like an absolute coward. If they didn't, if he had a set of nuts on him, they probably would have won. They probably would have went to the Super Bowl. But I digress. It's a nice little revenge game. Let's get it. And they win. 14-7, low-scoring affair. Minshew not good. Brady not good. We have 2 rushing touchdowns from our not running back. Okay. Defensively, Ngakoue with a sack. I mean, oh, there we go. Okudah, there we go. There's our game ball. 2 picks. Jeff Okudah in his first playoff game picks off the GOAT Tom Brady as the Jags are moving on to the AFC divisional round. And unfortunately, ran into a monster named Lamar Jackson, who, I mean, he didn't really throw the ball very well, but he's a running back playing quarterback. That's what a lot of people say. Minshew, touchdown and a pick. It wasn't a great game for him. Fournette had a touchdown, 94 yards for Hopkins. Chark had a touchdown defensively. Sack for Josh Allen. Just didn't do enough, but hey, at least we made the playoffs. We can build upon this, and hopefully, we get a dev trade. Even a star will help Gardner Minshew that much more for this rebuild. Oh, yeah. Okay, D.D. Westbrook might have earned it. He did. We got Minshew. He sure as hell earned it. Hell yeah. On the offense, Bredesen came up with a star. Chanel, who had hidden dev, he's a star. Hopkins, hidden dev, he's a star. Looking on the defense, in terms of dev trait increases, Telvin Smith, maybe? His dev trait did increase, even though he regressed quite a bit. Oof, that is quite the harsh regression. Taven Bryan is up to a star. Is that a promotion? Maybe not. I guess he already had star. Cool. But look at that, man. Jeff Okudah, superstar, dev trait corner, absolute baller. And we're gonna be. I definitely would have thought. I would have thought Vernon Hargreaves would have went up in dev trait, but it's a really, really good team. And well, you can see from here, Calais Campbell retired, so gotta replace that. So for free agency, as we get ready for year 3, gonna gear up. We have some okay salary cap. So first up, we have Laramie Tunsil. We're not gonna give him a audacious bid if we can get him that. That's very expensive, but he is also one of the best tackles. He's 27, still within his prime, but we don't get him. I'm not gonna lose any sleep. And then we got Raekwon McMillan. We have to replace Jake Ryan as an outside linebacker. No real meaningful bids on him. 79, he's 25, has a star dev. I think it probably would go up a point or two when we convert him to left outside linebacker. So that's a win-win. So I don't know how we had so many picks. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know we got 2 first. We had 3, I guess. Who's our draft? When we got Matabuke, we need someone to come and replace Calais Campbell. Justin Matabuke from Texas A&M, 71 with a hidden dev trait. He's going to be able to come in and step in right away. Then, I was kind of thinking we saw Telvin Smith regress a lot. So I was just going best linebacker available that we could eventually flex over. And we got Gautiote from USC, 72 with a hidden dev, home run. And then we just best offensive line. We have some guys that are old. Linder's kind of old. Norwell's getting out there. So Marquise Hayes from Oklahoma, 73 hidden dev, 93 strength powerhouse. Outside of that, we got Tanner Morgan, very talented quarterback from Minnesota. He's 68 hidden dev. You got Daniel Falele going back to back Minnesota. I mean, the hidden devs, I am just finessing my own draft classes here, and I swear to God, I'm not trying to. And then we finish up with Lamont Wade, just a depth corner to finish out the draft. But again, back-to-back outstanding drafts for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But again, kind of expected. We've had multiple first-round picks in both. Year 3, we're looking to become one of the dominant teams in the AFC. Making it 2 straight playoff appearances. 87-88. Our offense actually has gone up 1 point overall, which I hope so, because we landed Laramie Tunsil in free agency. But he's the big change. Offensive line looks very, very strong. Skill position looks very strong. Minshew with the new dev trait. He's slanging a lot, playing very well in this scheme. As far as a sim guy, I would love to see Chark get up in dev trait. Looking at defense, we have Matabuke, who's taking over for the retired Calais Campbell. That's a big loss. I'd probably say you could consider him a Jags legend now, he spent maybe more time with the Cardinals. It's pretty close. Okudah is getting ready to take off as one of the best corners in football. We add Raekwon McMillan at linebacker. He went from a 78 or 79 middle to an 82 outside. So that is a big get for our team. Generally speaking, though, top to bottom, this team is stacked, especially if we can get like Matabuke comes out with a good dev trade. And by good, I mean something a little bit better than a star would be a big help. But I am fairly confident there's not many teams that are better than this one. And we're ready to rock and roll. Coming out of the bye, because of course, right? 1 and 5, stupid contracts. Looking at what we have here, Cortland Sutton. Definitely want to get him locked up. There we go. Telvin Smith is, he's getting out there in age just a little bit. That's actually a lot of money. We'll wait and see. DJ Chark, will you take that? Nice. Taven Bryant. Actually pump that up a little bit, make the salary cap hit a little worse. Same with Rodney Harrison. You bump that up, give another year, take a little less off the top. So that gives Boye wants a 1 year. We could move on from him. Telvin Smith wants a 3 year. That's a little tough. That's a tough sell for me. We could probably get Boye back if he just wants this. If he wants anything more, we'll probably have to let him walk. There we go. But we just can't give Telvin Smith that kind of money, especially in a down year like this. We got to move on. Trim some fat. Year 3 is come and gone. Just pissing it away. 5, 10, and 1. We weren't very good. Looking at stats. Again, there you go. Random. Just randomness. Went from MVP candidate to just that for no reason whatsoever. Running the ball, Fournette was fine. 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. No 1,000-yard receivers, even though, DD's season wasn't bad. Cortland was acceptable. 703 is not bad from a tight end. Defensively, Miles Jack, very good season. 124 tackles, 5 TFLs, 3.5 sacks, 2 picks. We got 10.5 sacks, Josh Allen, 12 TFLs. Not getting nearly enough production from Ngakoue that we really need. Darby, 4 picks. I mean, secondary, that's acceptable, I guess. Yearly awards, Baker Mayfield's your MVP. In the AFC, I'm going to be surprised if you see any of our players here. Miles Jack, number 8 linebacker, offensive rookie of the year. No one. Defensive rookie of the year, Matt Abuke, runner-up, coming in at numero dos. No QBs, running backs. Again, just boring. It's just boring, dumb Madden sim stuff. It happens. Let's go to year 4. So we got a draft here where we're back to generated prospects. We didn't have a whole lot of needs. I made a couple picks, simmed out. Here are our 2 picks that I did make. Alfonso Roundtree from Cal, 76. Hidden Dev, 6'2", 213, 95. This guy looks incredible. Absolutely incredible. He's going to be a really nice playmaker for us because, we look at the defense. AJ Boye kind of needs his replacement. Then we just got this guy. You've never seen a name like this. Clayton Capobianco from Alabama, 73. I mean, Linder is kind of getting up their age a little bit, so maybe there's a successor there. The rest of the draft wasn't particularly special, but man, Roundtree looks like an absolute stud at corner. Year 4, please don't be weird and don't make sense. We're an 89 overall team. We should flex our muscles here in the AFC. Look at the offensive line. All remains intact there pretty much. Really good offensive line. Hopkins has kind of stunted his growth just a little bit. Minshew also, I think he only went up 1 or 2 points last season. Need to do a little bit better than that. Sutton certified baller. Westbrook looks good. Fournette is doing his thing. When you look at defense, Taven Bryan went from star to superstar dev. Awesome. Gyote will be right outside linebacker. There's no weaknesses. Absolutely no weaknesses to this team. You're going to see Josh Allen. You're going to see Jeff Okudah get into the 90s. Miles Jack, stud at 93. Even Ngakoue should get into the 90s this year. So there's no excuses. This team needs to dominate. I'm actually going to make Roundtree our 3rd corner. Boy, it can just be depth. Good luck stopping this. Good luck watching. We're going to get like 3 wins, aren't we? For week 11, we're 5-4 right now, which is tops for the AFC South. Looks like it's going to be a little bit of a dogfight. Is Minshew playing a little bit better? 14th and so right around that top 10 quarterback range, which we can work with while not being exactly what we want to see. Contracts. Okay, I don't know how much money we have, but hopefully it's enough. So we'll get Josh Allen on a 5-year. Oh, he wants more money. Linder, even though we kind of drafted his replacement, I'd rather not. Darby's been more than suitable on the outside. 1 year, $9 million. Sure. Minshew wants. Oh, think of all the hookers he's gonna buy with $124 million. Norwell, we can get his replacement. I'd rather Linder than Norwell at this stage of their career. So we'll Jaywan Taylor though, fairly solid tackle. See if we can lessen that cap hit just a little bit. Okay, so. Want to make sure we can get Josh Allen locked up, and that's it. Oh, that's gross. 8-8 wild card. It kind of fell our way. Anytime you win your division 8-8, you're either in the NFC East or you're probably in the AFC South. One of those two. So we're happy. We're good where we're at here. One of the worst divisions. I mean, not necessarily worst, but like AFC South, AFC North, usually. And like the NFC East, like those are the 3s that like you could probably get less than 10 wins and win your division. Anyway, statistically speaking, let's see. Minshew was fine. 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 5 picks. I'll take that. 71% completion. Fournette was fine. Almost 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. Oh, Minshew getting 4 rushing touchdowns. I see you. Over 1,000 yards for D.D. Westbrook, 6 touchdowns. Almost 1,011 for Cortland Sutton. Hopkins, a little bit of a breakout year there. Chark was pretty good. Defensively, Miles Jack, 128 tackles, 5 TFLs, 4 picks. That's huge. Sacks are down. Come on. How that's inexcusable. To have a talent of Josh Allen and Yannick Ngakoue, 2 90-plus players come out the edge, and you get 9.5 sacks between them. 4 sacks, Miles Jack. Okudah had a good year. Interceptions haven't really been an issue for the Jags. It's been sacks. Trubisky's your MVP. Again, stupid. This whole thing's stupid and dumb. Why are we even trying? Offensive player of the year went to Tua Tagovailoa. Gardner Minshew at number 9. Defensive player of the year went to Devin Bush. Miles Jack at 4. Offensive rookie of the year. Any of our guys? Defensive rookie of the year. Roundtree, 7. Cool. I don't think we have any individual award winners. Oh, we had Josh Lambo, got kicker of the year, but let's just get this over with, man. We're at 8-18. We're not the Chargers, so it's probably not going to be very fun as we get bumped 27-17 in the opening round for the Kansas City Chiefs, setting up my favorite Super Bowl or bust scenario, year 5. For whatever reason, I don't think Christian McCaffrey's got signed in the last, like, 2 years, so I have no money, but no one. He's been the top read for the last. Is that a glitch? Is that a bug? What? Is this something to do with like the 5th-year options coming in? I don't know. We'll see if Christian. We'll know if it's truly bugged if he takes a 6-year, $22 million deal. Okay, no, he did get signed. Maybe he's only just getting 1-year deals. But look, we have our first 5th-year option. Okay, Jeff Okudah, 5th-year option. This is our first time doing this. He's due. He barely saw the field. Do you think he belongs to this team long term? Yes, I do. Absolutely. Okay. If that's the option, do you want to go ahead and pick up his 5th-year option? Yes. What? Look, listen. It's not moving. Yes, I do. Why does it go back to no? I hit yes and it goes back to no. Okay, whatever. We got him on the 5th-year option. That's nice. Cool. Great addition to Madden. Let's get into our final draft. Final draft recap time. First round, we got this corner didn't even attend the combine, so I was like, we're literally just trying to get best player available. And he's 73 with a hidden dev. Awesome. We got Patrick Galvin, 70 overall D tackle out of West Virginia. We got a QB, Curtis Hanson, staring us in the face, 73 with a hidden dev at San Diego State. I was like, whatever. And then I just simmed it, to be honest with you. But hey, 3 really, really good picks for our final draft. Generally speaking, we've drafted very, very well, but we did probably better when we're using my custom draft classes and not the Madden ones. But it doesn't really matter. We got to go to year 5, try to put it all together, and win a Super Bowl. Final year, this is our submitted work. This is how I rebuilt the Jacksonville Jaguars to a 91 overall team. Top to bottom, no weaknesses. Gardner Minshew, 86 overall. We got, look at that QB room. Star. I mean, we could flip these guys for picks if we really want to. Fournette's a 90 superstar. Laviska Shenault, wide receiver. We converted to running back. He's been pretty good. Sutton's a 93 superstar, X Factor. Chark's an 88 superstar. Westbrook's 86 superstar. Offensive line, Tunsil, 89. You got Hayes, Linder, Bredesen, Jaywan Taylor. All good. We got a nice little tight end here. Bryson Hopkins, 86 star. This offense, top to bottom, no weakness. Looking at the defense. Going from the front back, Ngakwe's a 90. Taven Bryan got him up to a superstar. Matabuke, solid. Josh Allen, 91. God, give me some goddamn double-digit sack getters. This D-line's too good. We got Okudah, 90 overall superstar corner on that 5th-year option. Darby, you got Brooks. Roundtree's an 82 star. Looks good. We salvaged the career of Vernon Hargreaves. He's been pretty consistent for us. Harrison's been okay. That linebacking core, legit. McMillan's an 85, Miles Jackson 95, and Gaute 85 superstar. Good luck stopping this team, man. This is a team should get 12 wins. I'm prepared for the worst, but I'm expected 12 wins. Let's go. And at the end of year 5, we didn't make the playoffs. We were 7-9 with a 93 overall team, 95 offense, 92 defense. Statistically speaking, Minshew was not great. Fournette was fine. Receiving numbers, fine. Outside of that 1 year that we were insane, that's still not terrible numbers across the board. Defensively, no sacks. Picks were down. Yeah, it's a rebuild. Again, powerhouse. That team's sick. That team's absolutely sick. Minshew's an 87. We got 95, 91, 90, 88. Average rating across the offensive line is like an 85, 86. Tunsil's in the 90s. Defensively, again, across the board, 93, 88, 91, 92, 86, 86, 96, 89. And how many wins did we have? 7-9. Where did we finish? Offensively, we're 20th. That's not that surprising. Defensively, 9th. I'm honestly at the point where if you're doing a rebuild and you don't draft a quarterback, like a rookie quarterback to start for you, it doesn't have to necessarily be a first-round pick, but like a first, second, or third rounder, you're not going to win. Like, we had 2 winning seasons, 2 divisional titles. That's the furthest we went. Divisional? Championship? 1 or 2 playoff? I mean, I don't know what happened. Why we peaked after that one big year with Gardner Minshew. 38-12. Like, what happened? Doesn't make sense. It's just random. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm necessarily speechless because this happened a bunch of times, and I'm sure you guys have seen it in your franchise modes, but doesn't make it any less stupid, any less dumb. Who tests this game? Like, who builds, like, when you're testing a franchise mode? Like, a team like this with no injuries. If there's injuries and these guys miss periods of time and stuff like that, I'll be like, okay, injuries happen to everyone. That's usually what derails really good teams on paper. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles. Look at the Chargers every year. You know, look at the Falcons. Teams really strong on paper, but injuries derail them. When you have injuries turned off, there is no way a 93 overall team with a 95 offense, 92 defense is going 7-9. Okay? Absolute, positively no way. I really do wish they should have had a thing, like when you go look to the leagues, like they should show all the team stats, because like there's no way. What teams are in our division here? The Texans, they are not better than us. Look at all that. No, how many? Barely anyone in the 90s. They got the Titans with Mariota, definitely not better than us. And then you look at the Colts, the Jacoby Brissett, like, they're not a bad team. They're not better than us. None of these teams, none of our teams in our division. I guarantee there's no other team in the 90s in our division. I guarantee you that. I don't know. Let's just stop. All right, let's just rebuild the Jags. Let me know in the comment section below what rebuild you guys want to see next week. I'm thinking about probably having a rebuild come midweek and then a rebuild on Saturday. So 2 rebuilds next week. So, feel free to even leave 2 suggestions. We still got the Raiders. I definitely, we could probably take another stab at the Redskins, even though we did the call out Bengal. We didn't really use my real prospects. So I still technically, we got to do the Redskins. We got the Chiefs. We have the Dolphins, Titans, Bucks, Broncos, Cowboys, Saints, Bills, Giants, Chargers, Vikings, Packers. There still is plenty of teams for us to rebuild, even though, I don't know. Does it matter? Does it even, it matter? It's entertaining. I love building a team up like this, seeing players like Gardner Minshew have one hell of a career, but at the end of the day, when it just ends up like this, like it kind of just makes you feel like, what's the point? What's the point? But I guess it makes when you actually do win a Super Bowl that much more special, because we know it's not always a given regardless of how good our team that we build is. So thank you guys for watching. As always, first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. Until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.
Money I'm spending, I'm out and I'm shopping. You talking that shit, well you talking and talking. Look at my options, look at me dropping. Asking the game like, who are you stopping? Not me, not never. Not me, not never. Not me, not never. I'm way too clever. Look at the kid, Mr. Consistent, I'm doing it big. Way too persistent.